everybody, this is Tim Spike Davis. Welcome to Gamology. My name is Tim Spike Davis, and I am an avid hunter. Okay, this guy's on horseback with a bow. West here's got a rifle as well, slung on his back. Beautiful country.
Easy now.
Benefits to riding horseback is they have a lot better hearing than we do, and a lot of times just the pointing of their ears can tell you if there's game around. They can sense the presence of another animal like a bear or a larger animal like a deer or something. A lot of times a good horseback rider will pay attention to his horse while he's riding. And he's got a big old black bear here, digging up probably some roots or maybe some grubs underground. Bears like to eat lots of grubs. Not the best shot. Now there's somebody riding up behind that bear, which is kind of ridiculous because that bear would not have sat there while another rider came in. This guy, I don't know why, but he chooses to go from his rifle to his bow. People do kill bear every year with bow. You have to have a certain amount of poundage, that very thick hide, very sturdy animal. So you're not just shooting some little flingy, light pounded bow at this thing. And that guy shot way too far with a bow. That guy is very accurate for shooting at a distance. Now he is processing this hide, and to get a hide off a bear like this again is extremely just physical to process this whole thing out. Yep, he's got the hide. To leave the entire animal like that is just an absolute disgrace. You should use every part of that you can pack out. Any sportsman, any true hunter I know would never leave just the rest of the animal there to rot. Very disrespectful to the animal. Hunting a wild boar that's eating a dead animal was probably that bear you left back up on the slope. They'll eat themselves. They'll eat other wild pigs that are dead. Know that if you leave animals like that dead, other animals are going to benefit from it, and that's fine. It's a circle of life, but maybe it's an animal you don't want to have benefit from it, like a wild pig like this. I'd go back to that spot if you left a gut pile, and he makes a headshot on this thing at what looks like about 70 yards. And again, a wild pig would have smelled you, heard your horse jingling with all that tack on it. Pretty stupid pig to be sitting there that close to someone's camp, but maybe he was hungry too. Little raccoons are little miniature bears. They are tough animals. They can take a beating, and they just do not drop like that. Especially if you shoot them up in the butt like that. They will run with your arrow. Now that was the fastest skinning job I have ever seen of a raccoon. I have a raccoon hat that I made myself. I don't know what he pulled out of that bird, but he just left the rest of that bird. You could use the feathers for fletching. Man, you could use the legs as a back scratcher off a turkey. This guy's just walking around just acting as though he doesn't care much for these animals. He's shooting. Hunting a grizzly bear with... We'll see what he's hunting with. If he pulls that bow off, I'll lap my head off. I wouldn't use anything shy of a big old rifle for a hunting grizzly bear. People do hunt them with bows, but they're braver or dumber than me. So he's got a bear out there milling around in the snow. It looks like about 200 yards away. He's sneaking up on this thing. Really what they probably would have been using in this time period would have been what's called the Sharp's carbine. And I don't think that looks like one myself, but he's doing a good thing of getting him to the side of this bear. He's going to either want a shoulder shot or a heart and lung shot right behind the shoulder, and it looks like he does a shoulder shot. That's pretty accurate. That could probably happen. If it was a good shoulder shot, the bear would have actually fallen right where it was standing. This dude's going to cross an icy river, and that's more dangerous than that bear. Lucky if all of his gear doesn't go falling down in that stream. Yep, there you go. Been there, done that. Should have thought to bring some snowshoes when he was planning this day of hunting. I know they had snowshoes back there, so at least they got the blood on the snow accurate. That's very true too. That's really a blessing when it's out snowing like that. It is easy to track a bleeding animal. Of course, he didn't have to track very far. The thing is only about 30-40 feet from where he got shot. I would reach out my gun barrel and touch that bear before he gets up on it, because sometimes they will, their last throes of life, they will swipe you, and it's enough to kill you on something that big. This guy is gutting out this bear. Yep, go down the center, skin off the back, and you're going to have to flip it to the other side. Now, this is, in this snow and in this kind of weather, is extremely physically exerting. If this guy walks off from this bear again, this Red Dead Redemption guy is kind of annoying. He's throwing away a lot of good meat, and if he don't want it, if he's full, he should give it to his neighbor. That's what people do, is say, hey, got some bear meat. You need some? Guess he's not a very good neighbor. Okay, we got a guy running through a frozen lake with a rock in his hand, and he is chucking rocks at these rabbits. He is not a very good throw. Got another rock, and this rabbit is out on the middle of a frozen lake, nowhere to hide. Yep, and that is pretty accurate right there. Rabbits are some of the easiest animals to kill. Yeah, it snapped his head, which I don't know was completely necessary, but rabbits die so easily. They're just not very tough animals. Yep, there goes another one. Bounced the rock and then hit it on the rebound. Now, that rabbit's probably pretty embarrassed that he got hit that easily, but snapped his neck. Okay, well, probably put him out of his misery. There's something over there eating on, I'm assuming, a rabbit. It was probably a fox. Now, on a rabbit, there's a ton of things you can use. Obviously, the first is the meat, and you can prepare that anyway, but out in the wild like that, you're probably just going to cook it over a fire once you skin it out. Rabbit fur is incredibly warm, so if you can process that hide in a good way, you can make some pretty much anything. Gloves, hat. I bought my wife a rabbit fur coat one time. She says it has to get pretty cold in Chicago to put that thing on. So outside of the lower intestines on a rabbit, you can pretty much eat everything. Organs, meat. You can even boil the head and make a stew out of it. A very quick way to get some food in the pot. Old timer here sitting around the fire, probably cleaning his gun down, which would be a lot more effective than chucking rocks. But if rocks is all you got, like I said, rabbits are pretty easy to put down. They're not a very tough animal. I don't know if this guy's using a bolt action rifle for rabbits, but it looks like this guy's using a World War I era gun. He's actually using what they would call a clip, feeding in some extra rounds in there, which isn't possible because that clip has the maximum. But if you're going rabbit hunting, you don't want a bolt action. You will blow most of that rabbit to pieces. So here he is. He's out at night. He's going to go on this frozen lake. I don't know if he's going after a wolf, but he's got iron sights, and in the dark, that is almost nearly impossible. Yeah, and this wolf is coming after him. He got it out on the ice. You better hope that ice is thick enough. You better hope that that wolf is by himself. But yep, wolf fur is, the hide is going to be good. You harvest that out. Any type of pelt like that, wolf winter coat like this is going to be really thick. So that he can use that for as a garment to keep him warm when he's out here in the late at night. Wolf meat's a lot leaner. Probably it's not going to be as tasty, but if you're hungry enough, you will pretty much eat anything. You cook it over on top of the stove like that, it's going to be about as... It'll be like boot leather. There's little to no fat in that kind of meat. It will taste horrible and be really chewy, but like I said, if you're hungry enough, you will eat it. Oh, he's bear hunting. I hope to God he has something better than a rock. No, he's shooting this bear at what it looks like 100 yards. Now, who makes that shot? I mean, that's just not even an ethical shot. It's just flinging bullets. Now he's hiding in the shed, which means he's cornered himself. That bear comes in that shed, he has nowhere to go. You got a charging bear. You would better shoot that thing right in the head. He is shooting way too far off. I would suggest this guy either upgrade his weapon or get a little closer, because he magically got this bear. Okay. That guy just looks like he just shot through the tree. I don't know what he was doing there, but that was pretty stupid. And it's no doubt that he missed. Now, that deer would never come back like this. That deer would be jumping over them rocks and long gone. But he is somehow crouched down. He's got another little animal, looks like a rabbit, between him and the deer. Deer's going back to feeding, which again, never would have happened if he'd have been shot at twice. He made a somewhat decent shot, but again, that barrel is less than 6 inches long. Just not enough of a barrel to make a bullet stable enough to be accurate at that distance. So not an option I would go with, and especially not that distance. I would have to be a lot closer. I know people hunt with revolvers all the time. Now he's gonna have to go build a fire because he's out there freezing. His hands are out there holding that cold pistol, and I don't know why he's pointing his gun at his fire, but he needs to keep both his hands out there to warm his hands up. He's got the meat out. He's going to cook it over the fire. Not ideal situation, but he's in a pinch. Do what he's got to do to cook that meat up. The hide will be good, but not as good for insulation as like a wolf or even rabbit. The hide on those big bucks is a lot thicker. He's got a COVID mask on there, unless that is a bedroll. One of the things I like about this video game here is this guy's not running. A lot of these other video games, guys are always running with their guns. So this is a lot more realistic of a pace. It's got some critters out there running at the base of this tree stand. There's a badger. There's two other ones up the side of the hill. He's got a pair of binocs that has a rangefinder built in, and it's very helpful when you're trying to guesstimate distance to get a proper shot. And he's also elevated, which will change the good shot. Good shot placement right in the neck and head area. Being elevated like that is always something you have to keep in factor, as far as that will change the trajectory of the bullet. I have actually shot over several animals a lot of times when I'm elevated, because the bullet does not drop as much as if you're shooting on a level target. I love this, the fact that they're showing you the anatomy of this animal right through the base of the spine into the heart and lung area. Love the fact they're showing the trajectories. It's very detailed. It shows a lot of thought process being put into this hunting video. It's not just random or misinformation. So one thing they're probably not showing in this video is how bad that badger smells. They stink so bad. Got his binoculars out, and he is looking at the herd here with the distance at about 70, 60 yards. That's a chip shot for a rifle like that. It's just getting a good, clean shot through this brush. And so he's going to wait until this opening here, which is just perfect. And the people who designed this is just... And the guy made a perfect right behind the shoulder shot on a doe. So clearly going to be putting meat in the freezer. It's not about just the antlers. Providing for his family. A good clean shot behind the shoulder with a bullet like that. Depending on the bullet, you see he finds a blood trail. That's as realistic here. That deer will still be able to run a very far distance, even with a good shot. They're very tough animals, so he's gonna have to follow this blood trail. And depending on the color, I love this too. This is the color of that blood is gonna tell you how well the hit was. If it's very pink and bubbles in it, it means he got a lung shot, which is ideal. If you see blood that's darker, it's more back by the liver, that it's not an ideal shot. The animal will still die, but probably not as quickly. So he's got a buck out here tending some does. So he's going to decide, do I want the antlers or do I want the meat? Looks like he's going for the meat. For rifle shots, these are pretty easy. Anything under 100 yards. Oh, this is meters. Going to be pretty easy shots. He's more than likely shooting a 271, 30-06. There's multiple calibers and cartridges that you can hunt deer with. They're effective, but those are all within under 100 meters or 100 yards is very doable. So yeah, very realistic blood trail, and I love the fact that they're doing a follow-up here on the anatomy through the front of the brisket shot, heart and lung. You want to get low in that cavity, and that's what this guy is doing. Low in that engine room where the blood and where the heart and lungs are. If you get high, that animal can still run off a long distance. It's a mortal shot, but that animal can run a long distance. So you want to humanely put that animal down as fast as possible. I love all the detail on this. Whoever compiled this game really knew their stuff. Bear hunt, you are going to want one of those larger caliber rifles. 308. But I love this, that this guy's putting the time in to walk around a beautiful country. The sounds are amazing. Hearing bugs, flies, the stream, the wind going through the pines. This is a very accurate rendition of what it's like to be out in nature. So hats off to those who took the time to create this video. I don't know what he's... Oh, he sees something off in the distance there. There's Critter's hauling. He's going to get out his binocs, his bushnells, and you see a bunch of deer or elk. I don't know what those are. Look like they're black-tailed deer hauling butt. And a lot of times when you'll see a pack of deer or a herd of deer like that running off, it means something has bumped them. It's usually another predator like a wolf, a coyote, or a bear. And all the deer or other critters, you see birds flying away from somewhere. But a lot of times it means there's a predator in the area. Be alert. There's a black bear there, coming down to get some water, drink, probably dig up some crustaceans, clams.
This is very natural looking. I like this. Bear probably got wind of that hunter. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that bear have an amazing sense of smell. And if the wind swirls and they get your scent, they're not sticking around, just like this bear. And this guy is not taking a risky shot, which is very respectful. He could have shot through that brush, but he chose to be disciplined and wait for a better shot. So here's a good one right here. Very small window of opportunity. Again, a lot of times it's better to be sure on the shot than just fling lead down there. And legendary grizzly bear. I'll take any grizzly bear, but a legendary grizzly bear, I would love to hunt. You gotta have some guts to do that. These are amazing animals, and they will tear your head off faster than you can imagine if you don't make that one shot correct.
Okay, where are you?
And he's talking to this animal. The animal's like, I'm over here behind the rock. Oh, got the binoculars, the variable binoculars that did not exist at that point. But I'm not a historian or a video game maker. Oh, he's gonna get the dynamite again. I mean, I gotta tell you, it's illegal, and I don't know if I'd want to be chucking dynamite at animals. It's not really effective. You got a bear now. So...
Stay there now.
Yep, bear's like, don't like the fireworks. Yep, gonna tear you up. He's got his Bowie knife out, which, yep, this is right here what would happen. But really, honestly, you just be killed. One swipe would have removed your scalp from your head, and you would have been screaming, yelling, and not survived this encounter. He's got another stick of dynamite, and I mean, it's great for video games, but if you're chucking dynamite at animals to hunt them, you're doing it wrong. Legendary bull gator. If he's going after a gator, yep, got some palmettos. That's a little bit more accurate. Southern states. What's he going after? Oh no. Yep, well, he's gonna do it right in the rear end. That gator would have been blown to pieces. Gonna make himself a suitcase or some shoes. And that is a legendary gator. He's gonna take the teeth right out with his bare hands. Gator must have had some dental issues now, walking off with the entire hide. I tried to skin out a gator one time, and it was not that easy. Yep, and that pig that's accurate. That pig would have hauled butt in the opposite direction. And he is going to try to outrun this pig, and he's going to get his rifle. Headshot on the run. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is epic. I love it. That's pretty accurate. Pigs will charge you, and if you're lucky enough to keep your calm, you can head shoot him and drop him like that. He's gonna skin out this pig, and man, this guy makes it so easy. I should take a lesson from him, because man, that'd be hours for me skinning out a pig like that. And I'm not even sure why you'd want that pig skin. I mean, unless you've got an endorsement with like a football company, but whatever, to each his own. I'd have had some smoked ribs, some bacon. Legendary wolf. Guys running around through the woods, making it look so easy. I'd love to be able to have my animal track just pop up like that on the video screen. 6 shooting off the hip, the old west, and man, tell you that wolf didn't have a prayer against that 6-shooter. Again, if you're saving the hide, you don't want to shoot an animal that much. You want to make one shot, put it in the right spot. You don't blow holes all in the hide, unless you're just killing animals for just because you're a psychopath.